Hello everyone and welcome back into another lap time challenge video, and today we got the SF23 super formulas at Fuji. So let's just check out what exactly do we need to achieve a lap time that will get us into those 3%. So 122.0 will get you those 2 million credits, and I can see some really competitive lap times. I can see on the leaderboards 119.6. So we have actually 2.5 seconds to spare. So let's go check it out what the global leader did, and then we can actually compare the lap times. So the first lap is not available, so we will just check the second guy on the leaderboard, still a 19.9. And okay, let's get going. So I will actually go and see where exactly is he braking, which gears is he using, and exactly what is he doing to exactly get that lap under 20. Okay, second gear on the way out. I was expecting third. Very late on the brakes. I'm assuming that he will not brake. Flat out. Very interesting. Still flat out. In fifth. Wow. Okay, the usual braking point. Second gear on the way out. Third now? It's third instead of second. Okay. Wow, this is going to be interesting. This is definitely going to be interesting. Dunlop, I guess? No, much later than the Dunlop sign. Second gear on the way out, straighten up the car. Third, maybe? No, still second. Using the full width of the track, a little bit of braking. Third gear. Let's use the full width of the track again. Second gear, third maybe? Still not in third. I think we can use third in here. Third, yes. I think we can get a little bit more traction if we use third instead of second gear, but this is still a 119, so it's gonna be, well, it's gonna be pretty interesting to do a lap like this one. And 19.9 with a potential 19.6, which you see on the leaderboards. What can I even say? Let's try to do something on this track and let's see what I can get in, well, I usually get around just about 30 minutes. So let's go. So let's begin with the guide. I do have like a couple of things that I would definitely like to highlight, and you can potentially see that I'm running a 19.917. I said potentially because this is my optimal time. I know it can even go quicker than this, but sometimes it's really difficult to get the car around these turns because it's actually a pretty fast one. Here, we are using the curb, but we are not actually braking exactly at the curb, but as soon as we pass the beginning of the curb. And then again, you're trying to take a little bit of a wider line into this corner and get onto the curb on the right. The closer you get to the curb, the more speed you can carry, but the important part is to get in third gear and straighten up the car as you apply 100% of the power. So if you apply 100% and if you're not straightened up, the car will slide. Eventually, this is pretty much the same thing as with any other corner here. So this is not a braking point, just a turning point. Here we are turning, and we are just trying to get close to the curb, close to the apex. The car is pretty stable. It can handle those high speeds, and the only problem is sometimes it bounces off the curb, but of course you can go again. But this is a crucial point because you're trying to brake a little bit before the sign on the right and get into that second gear to get the rotation out of the car. And then when you reach this point, fourth gear on the way out will eventually give you more grip and will stabilize the car. But one downside to something like this, you can lose a bit of time on the exit like I did here if you do not apply the power soon enough. So as soon as you get in fourth gear, the power needs to go down. Here, it's a little bit different. You need to stabilize the car before you apply the power, but the braking point is just this transition in front of you. So try to get early into this corner into first gear, upshift quickly into second, and we talked about straightening up the car. It works here, and then again, it's from second into third, and unless we straighten up the car, you just don't want to be 100% on the power. Same thing in here. So this is the reference that I'm usually using. It's the grass, or you can use the line on the left. A little bit of braking coming in. So if you go more than 50%, the car will just slow down too much and you won't be able to carry the speed, and therefore you just won't be able to get the perfect line out of this one, because you need to use the downforce. And then eventually the same things apply, especially in this section. So you can see that I'm using that mark on the right as my reference, and it's usually the best thing to use. People use the curbs, but this is the important part now. So second gear on the way out and quickly upshifting in the third. And you can see that I'm holding the power just at about 70-80% until I straighten up the car, or straighten it up as much as I can. And same thing, exactly the same thing will apply in here. So I'm using the reference on the left. You can see that I'm braking just about 50-60%. You can possibly brake a little bit more, but don't hold the brakes for too long, otherwise you will lose a lot of speed. And then again, when we reach the curb, you can see that I'm holding the power just about 70-80%. And here, this was kind of the crucial moment. The car did slip a little bit here, so I was able to carry the speed, I was able to recover the car, but this potentially could have been a big slide and a big moment, and eventually I think I could have lost a tenth and a half, maybe even more. But it turned out to be a pretty decent lap, so be careful, straighten up the car before you apply the power, and you will eventually get the gold. And we finally came to an end, and well, it's actually a pretty good result. It's globally P2. I'm doing 19.951, and I really hope that this guide helped you to achieve a gold. It's actually a pretty difficult one, but I think it's possible. And once again, if you would like to know more about all of the techniques that I'm using when I'm racing, you can go check out my online course, which is going to be down in the description. And of course, if you made it this far into the video, you can use this coupon to get a 15% discount. And once again, guys, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, bye.